Now, the head servant can't give the male lead any sort of task because, again, he can't find the male lead. I am not kidding. And he tells the main character, hey, just think of the male lead as a cat. He just got here. He's skittish of everybody. He's going to be hiding in hiding spots. You have to slowly let him come to us. You have to let him roam about. He needs to know that he's safe, that you're not going to harm him, that you're going to take care of him, and that he sooner or later will come to you. You got to treat him like a cat. You got to let him roam. You got to let him have his hiding spots. You can't rush him. You can't hurt him. He's just going to be skittish. Literally, the head servant's telling the main character to raise the male lead like a cat. So reading this whole part and looking at this literal picture, I couldn't help but go, oh, my sweet baby, mommy will take care of you. Come to mommy. I will raise you. I will support you. I'll do everything for you, my sweet, precious baby. Like, he finds himself little hiding spaces like this. He goes and gathers food and brings it back with him, and he will drop something, try picking it up, drop something else, try picking that back up, and just repeatedly drop stuff and be confused and not understanding why he can't keep hold of anything, like a small child. And he looks like a little small child. The urge to raise him and take care of him and support him is strong in me. Like, he needs a sugar mama, and I would be his sugar mama. Just know it. Back off, main character. He's mine. I'm willing to fight you for him. I will take care of him better than you ever took care of him. Come to mama. I'll promise you'll have a good life. I forgot to tell you this, but the male lead has a dog when he was at the brothel, which searched him down and found him at the main character's palace and decided that he will stay there and be with the male lead. I am not kidding. This dog is absolutely adorable. So male lead sooner or later does settle and makes the main character's home his home by going around stealing a bunch of stuff from the main character's palace to go around the shack, making it his personal little den, which makes the head servant goes, oh my god, he's finally settled, he's happy here, he wants to be your servant, he's gonna follow you now. And the main character's like, yeah, right, I want to see that. I truly want to see this. And the male lead does. The male lead starts first doing small tasks that infuriates the main character because, again, the male lead doesn't know how to do these tasks because, again, he's mentally a child. He doesn't understand anything very well. And this frustrates the main character because in the past, the male lead used to be very skillful at housework and outdoors work and cooking. And now he's that of a small child who doesn't know to do anything unless you tell him step by step how to do that stuff. And the head servant is a little frustrated, but he's very patient with the male lead. And sooner or later, the male lead is literally doing every single task in the main character's palace. Because again, the main character has assigned him all the tasks to try to make the male lead stumble. And it takes the male lead a month to learn how to do everything correctly. Again, he can't read very well, but he uses the little words he knows how to do the jobs correctly. And the servants are like, wow, the main character is awful to make him do all this work and we can't even help him. And then he sits there and yells at the male lead over and over again if he does one thing wrong. And I'm just like, he's gonna regret this. I just know he's gonna regret this. Also, the main character is starting to doubt if his theory is correct because the two times that he's eaten with the male lead has proven that his memories are probably erased and his mind is actually truly broken. Because when they were having a berry goose that the male lead showed the main character how to make, he doesn't even remember the berry goose. He doesn't remember the foods he likes or dislikes. He literally doesn't remember that he used to dip the berry goose into more dipping berry and doesn't remember to do that. He literally just eats the berry goose without the dipping. And then when he takes the male lead out to eat, the male lead is trying foods that were really spicy that he had to learn a tolerance to for the first time again, and he literally cries out, it's poison, like literally has a meltdown like a small child would if they had something very spicy for the first time. Think the disciple from Grandmaster Demonic Convention, the one that reminds me of the main character and the mini character. It's kind of that scene reminds me of it. The Emperor, he is actually sick. He has something that freezes his body, will sooner or later paralyze him by the time he's 50 if he makes it to his 50s, because he could die in days or live for years. It is not certain of what could possibly happen to him, but basically his body freezes. He's in an eternal cold. He will sooner or later be paralyzed, and he uses the main character as a medicine. He now can use somebody else as a medicine, but specifically prefers the main character because his technique works the best. Basically, the main character touches the Emperor, puts his spiritual energy into the Emperor, and it cures the Emperor temporarily. So he prefers the male lead. The main character. He prefers the main character. Now, the Emperor is actually hoping that the main character would come to him, plead and beg for the male lead's life, and that he could tell the main character no, and the main character will push it again, and he tell the main character no, and they could go back and forth before he gets furious. Like, he wants to have a little bit of a fun argument play bit where it frustrates him, angers him, and he can throw a little fit. But the main character is not playing this game. The main character actually asks him, hey, can I be the one to execute the male lead when the day comes, because I know you will sooner or later execute him. And the Emperor outright tells him that too. The Emperor is like, no, you are not going to be the person to execute the male lead. And they go back and forth. And this gives the Emperor what the Emperor wanted, but it's also not what the Emperor wanted. They're both frustrated with each other that they leave. They can't handle being around each other because they both upset and annoy each other. And it's kind of hilarious to watch because it looks like two children arguing. What the Emperor stated his cousin and the main character is like two children arguing, it's the same with the Emperor and the main character, and I think that's hilarious. I will also say this. The main character regret for asking the Emperor if he could be the one to execute the male lead when down the line, because we all know these main characters in Meat Bun's story always regrets the things they do to their male leads. We all know this is the truth, and sadly they have to do horrible, vile things before they get to the point that they regret. Obviously, no one's happy over the fact that the male lead is free about, roaming about, so they want him to be collared. They want that slave collar back on him, and actually, originally when he had that slave collar on, Mercy did it without the Emperor's permission. You need the Emperor's permission, and then you need to go to an officialer to get it done. He didn't do that and went against the will of the ex-Emperor, and once the ex-Emperor had freed the male lead of his slave collar, he had severely yelled at Mercy for it, because again, it is against the law if you do not have the Emperor's permission. And so the main character was the one who took the male lead to get his slave collar taken off originally. And now he has to be the one to put the new slave collar on the male lead, which upsets the main character. The person the main character takes the male lead to put the collar on the male lead is actually a friend of both the main character and male lead. Evening Snow, the one who told the main character where the male lead had been the past 2 years. Yes, he's the one who has to collar the male lead, and he's not happy about this whole situation either. He's just as equally displeased. And I just feel bad for all three of them. And the male lead doesn't actually know what's going on. He thinks he's getting a pretty little necklace, and that the main character bought him a beautiful, gorgeous necklace that's currently on his neck. He even thanks the main character for it. And now, technically, the collar is supposed to have both the male lead and the main character's names on the collar, but the main character refuses. And again, the male lead doesn't understand this whole situation, so he doesn't understand why the main character doesn't want to put his name on the collar. And Evening Snow is like, I have to put your name on the collar. And he's like, no, you do not. And like the male lead repeatedly questions why. You know, the main character doesn't want his name on the collar, and the main character won't outright answer him because, again, he will truly have to answer why the collar's true intentions. And I'm just really upset at this point. I literally was crying because the male lead is such an innocent angel, a sweet little innocent child that he needs to be protected and sheltered, and he's just being treated horribly by all of these people, and I'm literally wanting to fight everyone. Watch me. I will fight everyone. There will be bloodbath towards everybody. Watch me.